What's up, YouTubers, and happy holidays. It's that time of year again where we look back on the year and reflect on the progress we've made on the projects we've done. In my case, that's several years and several projects, leading up to what we're about to take a look at in this video, where I take you through my journey of when I bought the boat, how I bought the boat, and what we've done to the boat since. First on the list here is when we had the boat hauled out locally here at Marine Group, where they did the bottom work, and I was able to swap out the through hole with the old corroded brass fitting to a new Marlon C valve, and that's going to be crucial when we hook up the new motor coming up here soon. What many people don't know is that I'm a huge advocate for recycling aluminum cans. In fact, that's how I was able to buy them. For a period of over 5 years, I would recycle aluminum cans and put the money in a CD I opened called Project Sailing Endeavor. And I had enough money saved up. I saw this beautiful Catalina 27 with a wheel, helm, and furling jib sail. I knew I was looking at something rare, worthy of a passionate refill. So I bought this beauty in 2018, and the rest, as some would say, is history. 30. Today is boat work day. Yeah. I'm gonna be changing out these little guys. There's another one here. So we're changing out the hole throughs here. And there's one. I think it looks about 3/8, maybe an inch. I can't tell. I think what we're gonna do is pop them off, make a flush hole, and then take these and measure and just go fit them to some Marlon hole throughs, which is better for rust and preventing electrolysis. And they're very rigid polymers. It's reinforced glass, so it's really cool stuff. I'm just gonna pop them off and yeah, commit. And so here's the bottom side, and what we're gonna basically do is grind these off, take it down to the gel coat here, there it is, and try to maybe clean it up with the Dremel, and then shove some new through holes in there. All right, let's get to work. So just learned you can't do your own bottom work here. That sucks, man. I gotta finish this one though, but as soon as I get this off, I could pretty much wrap it up in about 10 minutes because the rest is just gluing, but that sucks. So this little guy came out. As you can see, it's really not in good shape. I'm only gonna be able to do this one because you can't do the bottom work here at this yard. I didn't know that, so that sucks. I'm gonna try to patch this one up as good as I can. Looks like I'm gonna put some Marine Tex down there, so that spot looks pretty bad. So probably patch up with some Marine Tex and then throw the new hole through in there. And looks like it's about 3/8. I don't know, I'm about to measure. All right, so this is the one that's completely off. And now we're gonna go get the right ones. And then I'm gonna patch a ton of this with Marine Tex. It just looks bad. Yep. All right, more to follow. All right, so we got the hole going. Yep, so here's the Marlon hole through. And so, as you can see, it's just a hair too small. Or a little bit. But in any case, what we're doing is we're dremeling out that hole just so we can get to 3/8. And that should work just fine. It's almost there. So we're back here, day 2, trying to wrap this up. And so I'm making fastener or a back plate for the hole through we were making yesterday. It's about 3/8, and I'm just a hair over a 1/2 inch now probably. And so yeah, just a little bit of dremeling here to get the right size, because on the other end of this hole is going to be this plate basically, which is going to give it support up there while it's fastened down. And then what that'll do is it'll give it a little more, strength, integrity, and provide a better seal when you put the 42 or 5200 3M sealant. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Hopefully I'll have this wrapped up soon. But yep, and you can see some of the gel coat down to the glass here, and this just proves the point why you got to keep up with your bottom, because the hole, as you can see, is quite thin. And so what they're going to do here is put a whole layer of priming, a couple coats probably of primer, and then do the gel coat. Oh, sorry, not the gel coat, but the bronze paint. Yeah, more to follow. This is going to be fun. So we just got done doing the back plate, and I don't have any of the tools or skills, but I'm happy with the product. Here it is. Now the nice little back plate. So what this is going to do is, if you can see the hole through there, this here is going to go right around like a donut. Maybe we can just do it right now. Yep. And so then this little locking nut here goes right around just like so. And yeah, so people say to seal it with 4200 because it's less of a permanent solution. 5200 is fine. Just keep in mind, if you ever have to redo the hole, the through hole, you're going to end up dealing with maybe cutting new holes because of that. So it's really just how you prefer to do things. This is the hole through here for the motor, so I don't really plan on moving it ever. So I think I'm just going to use the 5200 that I have from the last project. Just go ahead and firm it up nice and solid and let it be permanent, because I don't have any plans to move it or seal it. So might as well just keep it there. That Marlon's pretty durable. It's pretty much as close to fiberglass as you can get. So it's basically just adding an appendage to the boat. Yeah, man, really good stuff there. If you're looking for through holes, this is kind of the nice next step, because it's reinforced glass, and it's resistant to galvanic corrosion and all that good stuff. I'm going to try to lay on some Marine Tex here and just try to build a layer there with reinforced. Well, basic Marine Tex is pretty solid. Once that cures, it's pretty much as solid as any piece of the boat. And then when that's cured and dried, or at least when it's ready, I'll throw the 5200 on there with the through hole so I can let that seal. And there we go. And there you have it. You got Marine Tex there, giving a thin layer of some, glass there, reinforced composite, to help give it a little more rigidity where the strainer was. It looks like it was pretty thin in some sections, but so a little bit of Marine Tex here with the backing plate and the 5200. I think we're looking at a little bit of, well, not a little, we're looking at a pretty good solution here for this pull through. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do this one on this haul out, unfortunately, but I did exercise the ball valve yesterday, and it appears to be in good working order. So if all things keep going well, we'll just wait for the next haul out. Maybe in spring of next year we'll get get this one knocked out with some Marlon. But yep, here we go with this one. This is the Seacock for the motor, so we're definitely gonna need that one when we put the Yanmar in. Okay, got our 5200, and we're just gonna shove it right back through the hole here. And there we go. Oh, it looks sexy. All right. Go up. So there she is, all glued in and epoxied in, tightened up. So when it's dry, I gotta give it another, or almost set. I don't know if it's almost set or dry, but anyway, give it about a quarter turn, maybe just a nudge before it's completely dry. And yeah, so that would basically take care of it. But yeah, there she is, new through hole. And so what happens next, this guy here goes right on top. I don't know if you can see that. Screw it in, but that lets seawater in and out, if I can do it. This is the shut position on the valve, and then you open it up, open. So always remember that when it's in parallel with the piping, that means it's open, and when it's perpendicular, then it's closed. Well, everybody, so there you have it. That is the Marlon pull through, tucked away in there with some 5200. So that's not going to be removed after this. But yeah, it should be a lot better than the through hole that was there before. And yeah, I just noticed that some of this area had been sanded in the past as well, so wearing a little thin here. So in some of those sections that were chipped off with barnacles, I laid a little bit of marine text there, and so hopefully that'll give it a little bit more strength and rigidity. And with the backing plate on top there, that should help. First time, not very skilled at this, but I think it'll get the job done. Yeah, and it's definitely on there. Pulling off the zincs here. As you can tell, they're pretty bad. Try to get this one next. So I pulled this old zinc off. Put up a fight. But yeah, it goes here, around there. But as you can see, it was pretty much a worthless metal, sorry. Well, thank you, grinder. One more day when we're not supposed to be doing this. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this journey, I guess. Just goes to show, boat maintenance is important. Got the old through hole here. You can tell the thing was just toast. The old back plate just rotted. Went with starboard, some sealant, and then pieces of the old through hole from the bottom, and then some old zincs here. So as you can tell, metal is extremely vulnerable to the ocean. Yep, a visit to West Marine. So we're back here at the shipyard. Got all this good stuff here, cleaned up here to replace the zincs. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace the zincs. About here, 2 zincs here, one for the shaft and one for the outside strut. This here's the strut here, and then this here's the shaft. Ah, careful, it's a soft metal. And this here's the shaft. So basically what this does is it sits outside the shaft. It's an inch, by the way. And it's sort of a sacrificial anode due to the metal stripping electrons in the water, which is what's causing that, what's otherwise known as electrolysis, is the stripping of those electrons in the water. Because as most people aren't aware, that as the boat travels through the water, it actually has static electricity, excuse me. And so what that does is it strips the electrons off metals. And so what we do to prevent some of that electrolysis from happening is we put a sacrificial metal in the water, which would basically, this acts as an absorbent for that process and prevents it from spreading to the other metals. And that's basically kind of in a nutshell how zincs work on a boat and why they're needed. Cool. And there you have it. So the nut wasn't that long on this little guy. So what I did is I just used the same thing, just
attached it backwards, so it's gonna be right into the water like this, which probably isn't the best thing. But since I'm not running the motor or anything, it's not really gonna do much. It's just gonna keep doing what I was saying earlier about electrolysis. But basically, anodes are on. This guy here. Yep. And so there we go. If you loved all that, you're gonna love what's coming up next. We took everything out of the interior, repainted the inside, then moved up to the top to get everything done up here. That was a huge chore, but with enough helping hands, it moved pretty quickly. The next few clips are absolutely terrifying, or at least they were for me. But we had the jib get skied in the mainmast. There it is. Disaster. The halyard stripped or ripped from the cable because it's spliced into the cable. So we got to go up there now. but I was able to install the anemometer with the help of a couple friends of mine. Now, I want you to watch this video closely and see if you notice something odd. And if you do, put it in the comments below and let me know how I should be doing things better next time. We're gonna go up with a bicycle helmet because that's the way you're supposed to do this. Alright, we're here with our safeties today. We're gonna go up this thing ourselves this time. And try not to look too scared in front of the men.
Oh, it'll be out of the way. It'll be out of the way. Don't worry, we're not videotaping. It's fine. You're good.
You get if you're rigging up there, that won't become useless to you, but.
Watch out there. That last step's a doozy.
Oh shit, gloves, you're right.
You're doing great, John.
I told him, I say, you know, my preference was.
You got about 6 feet to go.
Now the next few clips were a long time in the making. That's where we took the old Lister Petter motor out, which was only 6.5 horsepower, and we put a new universal M18 motor in. Now that's going to give us the opportunity to take this boat out beyond the bay and onto some new adventures where she's destined to come up with some new fun things to do. Thanks to some really cool people, Endeavor's got her new motor here. It's an M18 16 horsepower diesel motor with a heat exchanger, and I can't wait to put it in.